Okay, so this is probably going to be a three-part video. This first part is taking off this hatch panel, both quarter panels, both dogleg areas, the plate, plus the outer piece that connects to the quarter panel. Then we did both rockers, and then we eventually cut into the front pillar to also be able to get to the rocker to remove it. We also fixed like a couple areas that had rust damage, so we repaired that too. This video is not a how-to or a guide, but I did make a video on the quarter panel itself on how to remove it completely. For this year car and it being a Datsun, I didn't really find much information on how to remove the quarter panel completely from start to finish. I did find one video where he kind of showed somewhat of the process, but not really 100%. Most of what I seen were either like the dogleg area or like a half panel, or maybe like the lower rear patch panel, you know, something like that, but there's not much information on the full quarter panel itself. I actually plan on changing out this entire rear valance. We're going to put a new one on, and I plan on actually modifying it to where I have left and right outlets for a dual exhaust setup. If you were taking maybe left or right side of the quarter panels off, you could probably just drill out the spot welds in that left or right side area and kind of fold it back as you see in this clip. My idea with this car was pretty much take off all these panels, be able to get to like the structural area, stuff that you can't really see. This right side quarter panel is the second one I did, so I did the left side first. This side took me probably half the time. You know, I knew exactly where to cut, where to drill, where to grind. The thing I wanted to note was the drip rail piece that's actually welded onto the car, not the molding itself, but where the molding attaches to the drip rail. That piece, when I folded it back, is pretty rusty underneath, so I think eventually down the road I'm probably going to take that entire strip all the way off, fix the rust, and then re-weld it. It's probably not like 100% necessary, but I'm going to replace the rocker panels. It'll make me feel better and I can get behind this, clean everything up, just start with brand new metal. So before I do that, I'm going to add some bracing. Probably going to do from here to here, over there, and then maybe one across. And then I got that rear shock tower brace on right now too. I think that'll be enough. Floor pans are in there new. I did that one at a time and everything was still assembled, doors on and everything. So I think that'll be alright. So we got good new sound metal there. So alright, we'll get this cleaned off and then we'll weld them in place. Alright, I'm going to add one more brace across just to make sure before I take this rocker panel off. Better safe than sorry. I think it's pretty solid for the most part right now, but I don't trust it. Alright, so I got these quarter panels off on both sides. I wasn't going to do the rockers, or at least I didn't plan on doing it, but I don't know, they're pretty bad. I actually thought this lower rocker quarter panel or dogleg area was pretty good on this side, but I don't know, I went to go grab like a little piece that was sticking out and the whole thing just came falling out, and like a bunch of stuff that was inside here just fell out with it. So yeah, we're gonna change the rocker plus this dogleg area, the quarter panel, and then this B-pillar piece, and this support bracket in the back here. So we got to get all of this taken off. They don't sell anything up here, at least from what I've seen, so pretty much what we're going to do is cut all the way around here, drill out these spot welds, pull this piece off, change the rocker out, and then put it back and re-weld it. It's actually pretty thick metal up here. So I wanted to make sure that I did it lower just enough to where I can have room to get the rocker out. and not interfere with the location of these holes. Yeah, so we'll do this side, and then got this side too. We'll do the exact same thing. You can see this is probably just as bad as the other side. I'm also doing these wheel wells. They actually don't look too bad. Definitely could be fixable. But why not have good new metal there? I'll just already here, so I'll just change it out. Here we got a big piece missing out of here on this bottom side on both sides. It's pretty thin stuff. Yep. Alright, let's get to it. Oh, also, I noticed this too. I don't know what happened here, why this is gone. Okay, it looks like somebody cut that out. Well, I don't know what happened there. It's pretty rusty on this side. I think the rocker panels are probably what took me the longest, the most time consuming for sure. My knees were killing me afterwards, you know, drilling out probably 70 spot welds, plus everything attached to it, like the dog leg and that front pillar. And then doing it also on the other side too. Just about every panel I've taken off so far has shown some type of rust, whether it be surface rust or just straight up rot. Kind of curious what the front frame rails are going to look like. Eventually, we'll be looking inside those too. So I found that there was probably about 1/8 inch thick of body filler on both left and right side rocker panels. So I'm not really sure. They had a side molding piece that went all the way down this that kind of covered it anyways. And there wasn't really much rust in the spots that I've seen, so I'm not entirely sure why they covered it with so much body filler. The dog leg I ended up cutting just high enough where I could get the rocker out and also work on that dog leg plate on the inside, but low enough to where it's not going to be a problem to where I can't fit and trim my new replacement piece. I think taking both rockers off is a good choice instead of just patching the ends. After I got this off, you could definitely see on the inside they were for sure rusty. That inner rocker too was just as rusty. I mean, we were able to get it sandblasted, and most of it's all just kind of surface rust, not really like true rot. But eventually would have gotten there, and there's no point of going down all the way to not fix that type of stuff. The wheel well, I couldn't really find much information online either, just like the quarter panel. So what I ended up doing was I found the spot welds, I drilled them out, and then I cut out sections of the wheel well to be able to get my air hammer in between basically 3 lips. There's the outer piece that goes up to the roof line, then you have the wheel well that we're replacing in this video, and then you have the outer section that clamps them all together. Corner is pretty bad. The inner rocker, inner dog leg plate, and the wheel well area, like all right in that corner, were rotted out. I haven't found a good spot weld cutter that'll actually stay center while you're trying to drill, so I always use like a drill bit similar to the size of the cutter I'm using, and then switch back to the cutter after I already have the hole kind of started. In part 2, we are going to take all these replacement pieces that we're going to be putting back on the car, and we're going to coat them with a 2K epoxy primer and top coat. We're going to use a brand called Steel It. Never used it before. Hopefully we get long lasting rust protection from it.